The Baker family is no stranger to tragedy, as are all the other families living in Flint. What makes their story even more of a heartbreak is Megan Baker's pregnancy throughout the timeline of the water crisis.
My entire pregnancy, we were living in Flint, and it was the entire time that we were on the Flint water system.
11% of the children living in the United States are affected from ADHD. But for the Baker's 8-year-old daughter Piper, her sudden behavior issues have all eyes turned on the water.
If you know anything about Piper, she is an extremely intelligent little girl. She went through testing early when she was 4 years old, and they put her in school a year early because of how well she picked up and retained information. So now, her being in 3rd grade, it doesn't really make sense to us as to why all of a sudden that would just go out the window. We don't know if it was predisposed or if she was born and this was meant to happen, or if this was a cause of her environment and the lead in the water.
With a new diagnosis, what is the right way to tell your child that something that they ingested is causing them a lifelong struggle?
We have set her up with a therapist to see what we can do to benefit her to help get her back on track.
Both her mother and her father, Chris, now face the struggle of explaining to their daughter her new disability.
But what's the right way to do that? You know? How do you tell your kid there's something wrong with you and it's not your fault?
Bringing home a new baby from the hospital is always very stressful on the parents. But what happens if even they are kept in the dark about the quality of their water?
When we had our youngest, after we brought her home from the hospital, she developed a full body rash that didn't go away for quite a few weeks, and we couldn't figure out why. And when we took her to the doctor, they told us just to not give her quite as many baths.
The daily struggle of the people in Flint has caught the nation's eye. Senator Bernie Sanders came to Flint to listen to the community voice their frustration.
I lost twins in July of 2015 due to being poisoned. Both of my kids have tested positive for high levels of lead. My son has been suspended 56 times this year in school. He's in the 1st grade, and he doesn't even want to attend school anymore.
And now my mom is a nurse anesthetist. She works at McLaren Flint. She didn't know what was going on at the hospital, and now people aren't trusting her. So I want answers. I want to know why my mom's getting blamed when she didn't know anything. I want to know why my peers can't even go home and drink and shower.
Not only is the community emotionally and physically hurt, their wallets are beginning to feel a tug.
Financially, this is just ridiculous. I mean, that could be a car payment or money that we were saving up for college funds or retirement funds, or, you know, if the girls needed clothes or something like that. No, we had to pay, 1/3 of a mortgage payment for water. It's ridiculous.
To think that we were causing more damage to our children. But really, the biggest and scariest thing is just not knowing.
For almost 2 years, Flint families have had to deal with the unimaginable. All they want is the answer, and the answer is just one of the many things they can't get.